and clear.
How are you all doing? All is
Good,
good?
good. Yeah,
Great,
doing very well. How are you doing?
great. I'm a bit sick, to be honest. In
Oh,
fact, I will cough throughout the whole presentation, but I will do my best. What about
okay.
you?
Well, yeah, I'm fine, but we'll go easy on you then, Bob. Yeah, I've got lots of
No, no,
questions
no.
wrote down. I was looking at the white
Don't
paper.
worry. Don't worry.
Um,
Just come at me with all the questions you have, guys.
okay,
No worries.
awesome. Right, I'll start the recording. Introduce you, Bob, and we can go into the Arcadia project.
Perfect. Perfect. I will start
Okay, good
sharing
afternoon
my
to the Wellcoin
screen.
Talk community. Today we have an AMA with Arcadia. Arcadia is a gaming universe that will include your favourite games from the arcade games era, as well as their proprietary original games. The first game in the series will be Pac World. We'll be talking about that shortly, and everything else. But first, Bob, yeah, if you could just tell us about the core team's background and experience, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So, hello, everybody. My name is Robert, but you can call me Bob. I am the CFO of Arcadia. I've been in crypto since 2013, 2014. Been a long time ago. And in the meanwhile, I was also working in finance for different corporations around Europe. Currently, I joined Arcadia as CFO, and I'm trying to switch my whole career towards crypto and blockchain because that's like the intersection between what I did for like professionally and what are my passions. Then we have Alan, our CEO. Unfortunately, he is not able to join us. He got COVID as well, and yeah, he is recovering.
I've lost Bob there. Did you do the capture, Bob, when you came into the main chat? Because it does sometimes boot you out. Okay, we'll just
Moms
wait.
is also Moms is also on the team.
Mooms is on the team as well, did you say?
Correct.
Okay. Hi, Mooms. We seem to have
Okay.
lost Bob shortly.
No,
Let
no,
me
no.
see.
I'm here. I was trying to verify in
Oh,
the group. I don't get any capture, so I suppose I will quit and rejoin quickly. So maybe the
okay.
capture is there. Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait for you, no problem. Moon seems to have left as well.
Strange. I still don't get any capture.
Oh, right. Maybe try leaving Whalecoin Talk and coming back in. And the capture should come up. Oh,
Okay.
has the capture been turned off while we're
I've
doing the AMA?
given Bob like
Ah,
temporary admin, so I don't think you'll get kicked
Okay.
again. So it's fine.
perfect.
You don't have
Awesome.
to worry about it. Yep.
Oh,
Perfect,
great, Bob.
guys. Let me
Right,
share
so
back again. Yeah, so then we have our CEO, Alan. He also worked almost all his time in crypto, and he's the one that came with the idea of Arcadia together with Alistair, who is our marketing expert. He has more than 7 years of experience in marketing, currently still working as a marketing director. So moving on onto the more technical part, we have Hong and Brandon. Hong is our blockchain developer. He's from China. He has as well several years in developing dApps, in working on blockchain development. He contributed to other projects, and right now he's working like exclusively for us. Then we have Brandon. He is developing the more gaming part, let's say, of Arcadia. So he's a game developer, and he has his own game company, his own FPS on Steam. So from that point of view, we have our backs covered. Then we have Adam, our web developer. Hritik, the global marketing. So he's in charge for everything that is all the marketing initiatives that we are launching, from TikTok to old school, like even press. I mean, because since our games are really attractive for every age, since they go back till the 80s. We also think, to go into the more traditional channels. And finally, Asta, who is our designer, so she takes care of all the graphics, all the logo, and everything that is related to the graphic part. And that's more or less about the team. We have other people who work in the background. And Arcadia. So how did we decide to launch Arcadia? Well, we wanted to connect the vibes from the arcade games of the 80s to the P2E dynamics, so to Web 3.0. And we wanted to place our game somewhere in between. We analyzed different P2Es before launching Arcadia, and we've noticed that we have a lot of, like, a bunch of games which are just click to earn. So the gaming part is very absent. And then we have other games which are very, very well developed, like by multi-millionaire gaming development houses. But they tend to be more complex, so they're not really attractive to the casual gamer. And we're trying to place Arcadia as a gaming universe because, as you mentioned, Backward is just the first of the series. As a casual gaming experience, which doesn't lack the gaming part, but at the same time still have like compelling reward system, leveling system. We will see, like, we try to put in place a system which drags in the players and keep them in the loop, let's say, for much longer than what other projects have done so far. So, do you have any questions so far?
Yeah, Bob. Can we go into the pack world? I was playing the game today. It looks really cool and fun, and it wasn't easy actually. I was struggling a bit, but as you games, obviously, you get better. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm 48, so these games are really cool to me from the 80s and 90s. Super exciting.
Yeah, I will just, like, briefly show you just the game, so at least, I mean, obviously you probably all of you know about pack, but to see that even if in the how can I say, I want you to see the contrast between how easy the game is and seems in terms of gaming, like just playing the game, and then how, let's say, well thought and compelling the gaming mechanics, the whole P2E experience is in the background. So I will just launch the game. I keep in mind that this is still the beta version, so when we launch, it will be improved with new levels, slightly new graphics.
Awesome.
Okay.
I see you've got the free to play as well, which is you're making it inclusive for players in developing countries with the free to play option as well.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's a very classic pack game with all the dynamics that you already know. You are earning points, and based on those points, we will decide whether you are winning or losing for that given energy or that given day. And this is just the first of the games. Let's try to understand, like, what is the journey of a player when he enters in the Arcadia world. So, as you just mentioned, we have a free-to-play option, which allows players to get in touch with the game, to actually not risk any money, any funds, to learn a bit about the dynamics, about how you can use the system, you can use the dApp, get in touch with the community. And what they can do, they can play the game exactly as you saw it. However, they won't be able to earn the coin token, which is the in-game coin. But they will be given experience. This experience will be used to level up until the 6th level. And according to which level they wanna stop, they can claim a discount on the first purchase of the like lowest rarity pack, which is an NFT basically. And this is one option, which means I'm lowering the entry barrier for you to join the Arcadia universe. But at the same time, I'm also giving you the opportunity to have a go to get a free NFT without paying anything. So each time you level up, you can spin a wheel, let's say, participate in a raffle, and have a probability, which is increasing, of getting a common pack. Therefore, there is an incentive like to players who cannot yet afford the $100, which is the minimum to buy the common pack, but they can still have a chance to try this. Once they go to level 6, and by the way, as you can see, from level 4 to level 6, we require just a little contribution to, well, first of all, to make it sustainable. Second of all, to let player get in touch with the mechanics of swapping tokens. How does the double token system work? Because maybe I take it for granted, you take it for granted because you've been in the how do you say, in the universe for quite a long time. But some other people, they just joined the crypto space, and therefore we thought it was a nice way, to show their commitment and to give them a way to experiment with the system. When they get to level 6, they can, if they didn't win, they can still continue playing, training, and if they won, they can keep have another go for another spin for $3 if they want. Otherwise, there is obviously no obligation. And then we get to the play to earn part, because that's the most compelling, I think, for all of us. So Arcadia is a game based on rarities. We have 5 rarities. However, not all of the rarities, they are accessible from the beginning. So it's a game that unfolds with time, because everybody will start with common. It's a bit like some massive RPGs, where you have your character and you evolve it. That's a little bit the dynamic. Then we have energies, meaning that even if you have 15 packs, a pack is the NFT. Even if you have 15, I'm not requiring you to play 15 times, all the energies it takes for one pack. But we have a certain amount of energies for the whole wallet, for the whole team. We call it the pack team. And finally, we have difficulty levels. So each game, when you launch the game, it will require you to have a minimum of points in order for the system to say, yes, you won, or no, you lost. And also, there are some game mechanics which are changing based on the difficulty. For example, number of ghosts, their likelihood to chase you, or also, when there are 2 paths that the ghost can take, and one of them is going towards you. What is the likelihood, the probability that it's going to come towards you or not? So there are little gaming dynamics that become a little bit more aggressive, let's say, to make the game harder on harder difficulties. And this is really important because it introduces the concept of skill, not just I put $100. I know that whatever I do, I will get the same rewards as everyone else. If I play better and I earn on a more difficult level, I will earn more. So there are coefficients which impact your earning in terms of experience and rewards. On the opposite, if you lose on an easy level, for example, you will earn a little bit less. Okay, I see there are some hands raised already. In case, I'm not sure if you want to take those questions already, or I can keep going.
No, yeah, I'll usually ask questions in the first 30 minutes, and then we can open it up to the team and the community investors later on in the AMA. I was looking at these staking and NFT purchases you can make for more rewards, and the ARC token and the coin token, how the utilities are attached to the 2 tokens.
Yeah. Okay, so before going to staking, I think it would be good to explain the reward system, how it works, so then you can see how staking comes on top of that, if that's good for you.
That's great. Okay,
so here you can see more about the concept of pack team. We say that one pack, the minimum entrance in the game is one common pack, which is $100. You can have a maximum of 15 packs per wallet, but you can have multiple wallets. Nobody's going to stop you. In this little table, you can see that there are incentives to have more packs, because at certain levels, for instance, between when you get to the 4th, to the 10th, and to the 15th, your daily payout is increasing by, in this case, from 5 to 6%. So it's 1% daily increase, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in the long term, compounded, that's almost 20% increase. At the same time, you have more energies, which in this case should be seen like I have to play a little bit more, like I have to put a little bit more effort. I'm not saying you should play 8 energies times 15 packs, but I'm saying, okay, instead of 8, you should play 12, because I'm giving you the chance to not stay glued in front of the screen and play 5 hours of arcade games. And then there are recharge costs. So anytime you use all your energies, every 24 hours, you have to recharge your cost. And this cost will go to the reward pool. So this is part of the sustainability dynamic. And this cost goes down with the amount of pack you have. All of this to show that there is an incentive, multiple incentives, to reinvest your rewards in order to have greater benefits. And I think this is a very important dynamic in P2E, and that's when game fail. When people start not seeing any benefit in keeping the rewards in the game, but they start cashing out no matter what. Then we have the difficulty level. As I mentioned before, we have five levels, and each level will give you a multiplier, a coefficient, depending whether you are winning or losing, both for experience and for rewards. And down below, we have some examples of how these rewards are calculated if you want to dive deep into the math, but it's quite simple. Each energy will have a base payout, and depending on the coefficient, if you won or lost, or if it was easy, medium, hard, and so on, you're going to get more or less experience, more or less payout. That's it. So here we just show one example, one pack, so the basic entry level, and then a scenario a bit more complex where you have 15 packs, some mythical, legendary, rare, and as you can see, the daily payout in this case is $745. So it's just to show what are the possibilities, two different ranges. And finally, the leveling system. So we say that the games, it's unfolding on itself the more time passes and the more players are engaged. So every time you play, you gain experience, which you can spend to level up your pack. Besides spending experience, you have to also spend some ARC tokens and some coin tokens, therefore creating utility for both of them. And thanks to this spending, we can more or less, by summing all these coins, we can more or less come with a valuation for uncommon, rare, legendary, mythical. So there is no fixed price on those. The market will decide the price, depending on how much they think it is going to be worth, also connected to the ROI of each pack. And there is a cooldown here on the right in hours, meaning that each time you level up, you have to wait a little bit in order to avoid spam leveling and things like that. To go from 0 to mythical, on average, because it depends on your skill, it takes around 1.5 months, but that's not the ROI. That's just how long it takes you to evolve your pack until here. In the meanwhile, the ROI it's shorter. It's between 20 to 30 days, again, depending on your earnings. So it's up to you to decide if you just first you just recoup your money and then you invest the rest to level up, or there are different strategies to approach the game. So imagine it like this. In the beginning, everybody will have common to be a sort of race competition. Who is going to get one common to rare, legendary first? And that's when you unlock greater and greater rewards. We put this system in place to avoid what happened in other games, which is people with huge funds, they could afford the highest rewards immediately, and there was no sort of handicap, let's say, in doing so. So you could already go to the end game, buy the most rare. Okay, it's going to cost you a lot. You're going to buy crates with a certain percentage, but you can do it. Here, we give everybody a chance. However, we also keep in mind that not everybody has so much time to grind, or they're whales, because we know also whales participate in the crypto space, and they want to put their money at use. So we give them a chance in two ways: how they can get a benefit, but also what is the price to pay for that benefit. Because every choice we implement, every action we implement in the game, we try to make it so that there is a price to pay, there is a risk to consider, not just benefits. So for instance, if you want to skip all these hours, because if you sum them up, it's going to be 1 week of waiting, How you can still play, but let's say you cannot level up now because you have to wait this time. If you want to skip that, there is a little formula here which calculates how much ARC you can spend to skip one level, and all this ARC will go back to the reward pool. So as you can see, okay, I'm giving you the chance to skip a little bit, just the timing. You still have to pay for the leveling, but you give back to the community because you give back to the reward pool. And then there is the second dynamic, which is XP purchase. And this is interesting because it's, even if it seems like, okay, I can still buy my way up. Yes, that's true. But as you said, there's a price to pay because you can purchase maximum 1000 XP every 48 hours. So if you want to go to from 0 to 7,000, which is almost 7,000, you need to purchase 7 times 1,000. Every 1,000 is every 48 hours, so you'll have to wait at least 2 weeks to level up. So as you can see, there is a chance to, you want to pay more, okay, there is a chance, but you have to wait 2 weeks more compared to the others. And also it's going to cost you more because each 1,000 experience costs around 800 USD. So that's about 5K on top. So obviously, as a consequence, your ROI is going to decrease. Doing so, having this system, allow us to give every player, let's say, a chance, a go, whether they want to grind it, whether they have a skill or not, and whether they just want to have a little boost, but there is a price to pay, and that price goes back to the community. Now, probably there are some questions because usually when I go over all this, people have questions, doubts. So feel free to ask if anything is not clear.
No, Bob, I got that. I was wondering about the crate prizes you're going to be offering in game as well, and the training camp as well. Is that free to gain the experience, and it doesn't cost you anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for the crates, currently it's just like a teaser. There is no system in place. But in pack usually there are some objects that sometimes get dropped, on the map. So how it will work is if you collect enough of those keys, objects, you will see, you will get a chance to open a crate which will have some prizes, basically. But that's for later on. We don't want to put all the features on the table immediately, also because it can be overwhelming, and we want to let the game growing, slowly. And the training camp is just let's suppose you played your energies for the day, and you still want to train because you want to get better, you want to beat the hard difficulty score and so on. Well, you can just do so by paying a ridiculous amount, like 10 cents, and you can train a little bit there. So it's just this. We will maybe consider if giving also some experience by doing so, but we will see. It's not like a main aspect of the game so far. What is interesting though is the staking that you were mentioning before. I'm sorry. The staking, which has to be considered as in-game staking, not the classical one where you get an API, but in-game meaning that you purchase some ARC, which you maybe got from the pre-sale because you got a whitelist, or you just purchase it on launch at a cheap price, and you stake it for a certain amount of time, for a certain period. And then you will have this bonus on the right. So let's take an example. 1,000 ARC is going to give you 31% bonus on your daily rewards. If you stake this 1,000 for 2 weeks, you'll get a 10% more. If you stake it for 1 month, you'll get a 50% more, and so on. So the more you stake it, the greater the benefits. Obviously here, the idea is to attract people to hold tokens early on, because as you can imagine, the token will probably go up in value when more people will flock in. And what will happen is that the value, in order to get 1,000 or 7,000, is going to be very high. So those who have the capacity to do a bit of foresight, to play the long run, the long run game, they can already see the benefit of accumulating tokens early on and getting a quite big benefit, which might seem like a very big benefit, which might compromise sustainability, but at the same time, it will take out of the circulation all these tokens. So imagine, I don't know, 1,000 people purchasing 1,000 tokens, each. Obviously, it's impossible because the price will go up, so they will have to purchase less. But the idea is this system gives you rewards, but still benefits everybody else because it will create like positive pressure on the price. And that's it so far for what concerns the game mechanics.
Okay,
I think
great.
I covered everything. Yeah.
I was wondering what's the long-term sustainability for Pack World with the reward system. Is the reward system changeable in the smart contract? Will you be tweaking it into the future? I do know you've got the 30% tax if you change out to coins, and that directly goes towards the rewards pool. So that adds into the long-term sustainability.
Yeah, that's true. So we have different system in place. I would start by talking about the tokens. So first of all, we use a two-token system. We have a Arc token, which is the native token of Arc is Arcadia, with 5 million supply, and which is the one that you will be able to swap in the liquidity pool versus BUSD. And it's a bit, it serves as, I wouldn't say governance because we still don't have any governance dynamics implemented, but it will in the future. And at the same time is the, how do you say, like the gate into our gaming universe. So people will purchase Arc token either for staking, either for swapping to coins and mint their first pack, the common pack, or use them to level up. So there are utilities to this token. And then we have a coin token, which will have, it doesn't have a fixed supply, and it is not exchangeable because what happens when you gain these rewards in coin, when you cash out and you want to swap back in Arc, there is an oracle system. Therefore, the amount of coin that you will have will change depending on what is the valuation of Arc token. For instance, if we have like time 1, T1, where Arc token is $1, and then we have T2 when Arc token is $10, you will have 10 times less coin when you swap. But in terms of dollars, you will still have your reward. So until you decide to cash out, your rewards will be, I like to say pegged, but they're not like technically pegged, but they are calculated in order to maintain the same dollar value. So by doing so, we protect players from big swings in the Arc token price, because at the end of the story, you will still gain your dollars in rewards. And that, in our opinion, contributes to the sustainability, because what happened when you have just one token system, imagine your token skyrockets on the chart, and you have your rewards that also skyrocketed. When it skyrockets, well, you say, that's good for me, that's cool, I'm gonna cash out and I'm gonna profit. But when the price token goes down, then you will always rush to cash out, because every time you wait for those 10 to 15 days before the tax goes down, in the meanwhile your token will lose value, and that's where the death spiral starts, usually for P2E. And then, as you mentioned, there are taxes. Taxes are an important tool for sustainability. There is an early claim tax, which is the one that you mentioned, 30% every 10 days, meaning that each day it will go down by 3%. And each time you cash out or swap from coin to Arc, it will reset, So it's up to you if you want to eat a little bit of tax or if you want to wait. And all that 30% and below will go to the reward pool. So that's one stream of income for the reward pool. Then we have taxes on liquidity pool and marketplace. So as you can see, we have these three sources of taxes. And in the beginning, we will start with 18% tax on the sell side, because we want to avoid people dumping straight away. Therefore, we thought it's healthier for the system in the beginning to sacrifice a bit of volume, because for us as a team, like I'm telling you honestly, it's better to have volume, even if it goes up and down, and the price is not stable for players. In terms of fees, it's better for us. But we don't want necessarily volatility. We want more stability because we want to attract players rather than just short-term traders. And that's the reason for like a higher tax than maybe we are used to with other games. This tax then it goes down, and after 7 days, sorry, it will stabilize at around 13%, not around. And here you can see how they will be used. So complete transparency. A percentage in the beginning we will use most of it for marketing because it's important to keep pushing the game, even after launch. And we can talk later on about marketing. Then a part at the end, when it will be stabilized, 5% will go to the reward pool, 2% to the liquidity pool. So we also give back to the liquidity in order to sustain the price. And 3% marketing and development. Here you can see what I mean with marketing and what I mean with development. Basically, marketing is self-explanatory, and development means developing new games, smart contracts. We have 2 developers, as you noticed, and we plan to hire more to develop more games. So it's in order to sustain the cash flow for all these activities. Then there is a buy tax, which is also decreasing down to 5%, coming up from 9% in the first 2 days. And finally, a marketplace tax, which will increase because in the beginning we will not have a very active marketplace due to the fact that people just minted, their packs, so there is not so much to sell because why would you buy a common? We can just mint it. But then it will be stable at around 7%, and also here, as you can see, 2% goes to LP. Also in buy tax, 2% goes to LP. So around more than half of these taxes, they go back into the system. And the remaining, it goes back into marketing development and obviously salaries for the team, because we have teams of mods, community managers, web developers, graphic designers, and so on. And this is it. Like, these are the leverages, that we're pulling in order to ensure sustainability. And I also want to go back to the 2-coin system and to make you understand that the more the system will grow, the more Arcadia will grow. So imagine having 50,000 players playing. That will reflect on the level of price of ARC token positively. Therefore, the amount of rewards paid in ARC, they will be lower in nominal terms, meaning that instead, maybe in the beginning, we will get, 100 ARC tokens for the same reward. In the future, you will get like just 5 tokens because the price is higher. So this system allows for having lower and lower amounts of nominal ARC token taken out from the liquidity pool. Therefore, that ensures a longer longevity. I'm not here to promise that it's going to last X months, X years. We don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately. But like according to our analysis, this should help for the longevity of the game. And that's it on my side. If you have any questions, feel free.
Yeah, awesome. And can we go into the social share function that's going to generate a picture of rewards for investors, and then they can share that on Twitter?
Oh yeah. This is part of like alternative marketing strategies, because besides like trying to reach TikTok, because we saw that TikTok it can easily go viral, and you have the new generations using their cell phones so often. Therefore, like, by the way, the game will be playable on mobile as well, so it will be very casual, to just pull it out and play. We have this social share function, which you have to think of it as a bit like Binance future. I don't know if you are aware, but when you have a successful or unsuccessful Binance future trade, you can share it with your friends, and the picture will be generated showing how much you earned, what was the entry level, and stuff like that. Here is the same. So there will be like a unique ID for each player sharing, and they can share once per day. And by doing so, we want to generate like a marketing machine made of players, because their incentive at the cost of just 1 click, just share it on Twitter, they can have a chance to win, to double their rewards and win some experience. So it's a very like low cost and huge benefit kind of strategy, and we think that nobody will not do that, because really it's just a matter of one click. And even if the chances, obviously we're not going to give like double rewards to everybody, it will be a low chance, but still, why not? No, I think everybody will find it appealing. And furthermore, there will be a referral system for which you'll be able to invite your friends, and both of you, if they start playing, you will gain some experience, which, if you remember the leveling chart, experience means money in the end, because if you get experience, you will get faster to uncommon, rare, legendary, therefore you will start earning sooner than the others. So they're both like require very low effort, and at the same time the benefits for the players are consistent.
Yeah, that's great. The social share function, it can get it going viral on Twitter. That's great for the Pack World game. And I think the core teams docs that you were showing us there on the website, that's great. And you're planning a Certic. Is that going to be before or after launch?
So Certic for the audit is going to be like right after launch, because it takes some time. But we are already KYC'd by Obsidian Council. I don't know if you know about them. They are like an important player in the market, and they're very strict with their KYC. And also we also did that on Gempad and Pincel. Gempad is the platform where we will launch our pre-sale on the 1st of August. So
Yeah,
we've already been,
What's the date for the pre-sale with Gempad?
So the pre-sale will be on the 1st of August. We still don't have the time, but we will communicate it before. And the terms for the pre-sale are, so we have a hard cap of 125K in BUSD. You may wonder why BUSD and not BNB. It's because we don't want to play with the fluctuations that we're currently seeing in the market. We believe that, yes, right now it seems like it's recovering, but who knows, like the macroeconomic environment, it's still pretty poor. You know, there are the CPI reports coming out. They're not very, they're not making people happy. Interest rates are going up. Inflation is going up. So there are a lot of factors which made us, be more cautious with those funds. Because what if the market crashes again by 50%? Then our BNB will be hard, and everybody will suffer from that. Therefore, we want to collect BUSD. And the minimum contribution is... Yes?
Around the packs you buy, are they going to be NFT packs, or is it going to be a mystery box? Or are you planning an NFT series around the Pac-Man theme? That'd be pretty cool.
You mean for the pre-sale?
Going back to the game, where you buy the packs, is it NFT packs or is it mystery boxes on the website? How will you purchase them?
So you will purchase directly the pack. It will be common, therefore there will be no difference in terms of skins or looking. We have different skins for higher rarities, but in the beginning everybody can purchase their pack, and they can do that by using coin tokens. I mean ARC tokens, because in the beginning you have to switch to ARC anyway. not coin, because first we won't have a supply in the beginning. Coins will be generated as a consequence. So you will use ARC tokens to mint your first pack.
Are you planning NFTs as well into the games in the future?
So honestly, so far NFT is not the main focus of Arcadia right now, at least not for Pack World, because we didn't see so much of a benefit. They look really cool. Let me see if I can sneak peek one of them. Yeah, maybe later. Especially the mythical, they look cool. They are inspired to different other how can I say, universes. Maybe Star Wars, maybe Dragon Ball, maybe, I don't know, I'm not saying anything. But the NFT game is not the main focus, for Pack, because we want to focus on gaming first. So they won't be necessarily tradable on OpenSea and so on, and they don't have like very different trades. There will be different NFTs, but it's not an NFT project, if I may. However, in the future, according to the game, I think there are some other games which can be they are more prone, to have like an NFT declination. I would say, why not? We can take feedback from the community, and if they want to see NFTs, then why not?
Let's open it to the rest of the team. If anyone's got a question for Bob at Arcadia, go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, hey Glenn, I was listening in, and it sounds super exciting. And I was wondering that since you have this system in place with XP and leveling up and everything, it's basically based on just simple winning conditions in the game. So I'm thinking that was deliberate, right? Because once you put out the new games, you'll be able to use the same kind of system that you already built and just fine tune it, right? That's I'm guessing that's the general idea that you're going with.
Yeah, the idea is so Arcadia is built as a sort of ecosystem where we want to plug in other games. At the same time, we don't want to stick necessarily with the same system for the for for all the games. So I mentioned another kind of game like Tetris, for example. Maybe having a leveling system wouldn't make so much sense now in that case. But it's also a matter of like experimenting, taking some feedbacks, and if we see that it's not so appealing, maybe we try something else. So if it will work and as intended, if our theory, let's say, will be validated by the practice, then obviously, like I can guarantee you that we will take what worked best, and we can also bring it to other games. At the same time, we will try to bring like to look after innovation, if there is something else, because we sell like what works in P2E is not to copycat everything else what the others did. You always have to have a new meta, a new idea, a new system, and that's why you also want to host some hackathons and some community-led events in order to harness all this potential, because we don't want Arcadia to be a top bottom project necessarily, So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds like a healthy way of going about it. And just one more thing for me. Will after the token launch and everything, will people be able to jump in the game, or will there be like a cooldown? When will people actually be able to start earning in game?
Yeah, that's a good question. So after the 1st of August, when we have the pre-sale, we plan to launch in between 24 and 48 hours later, depending also because we want to test thoroughly all the smart contracts. We are already testing them, but we want to have like a super clean launch. So it will be very shortly after, though, I would say like maximum 48 hours.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Also to give time, to the chart to stabilize, because we know that at launch, no matter how many taxes and how many anti-bot system you put in place, the chart will be volatile in the first 2 days, and we think it's better, to also get into the game after that. Speaking of anti-botic system, we're implementing a couple of systems. So we noticed that from other games that bots usually fill the first 2 to 3 blocks. And we want to heavily tax those 2 to 3 blocks, like up to 99% tax, just to avoid, because we don't want to have a project which is botted and everybody buys at the minimum price. And then that's, that's as a consequence to, like, community is going to pay for that price in the end. We will send a communication about that. We will tell everybody that bots will be penalized, and you should avoid, trying to get into the first blocks, even though like it's humanly impossible to get into the first blocks because bots are faster than humans, obviously. But we have that system, and also we plan if we once we see those wallets, we will shortly, like just for a couple of minutes, stop trading and resume it after we block those wallets. It's not going to stop all of them, but at least it's going to take some of them down.
Bob. And is there whitelist spots for investors to win still if they join the community, or is the Gempad sale fair launch, or just whitelisted?
Yeah, so we have a two-tier whitelist spots. Tier 1, which will be granted. As I said before, it's between the minimum contribution is $50 and the maximum is $700. And we will have around 250 whitelist spots for that, which is, it's almost filled up. I mean, trust me, we're giving them like carefully, you know, because we could easily like just oversubscribe it, but we don't think it's fair, you know. And in order to gain those spots, well, first of all, like some of you who ask the most interesting questions will get some whitelist spots, and then we have also some community events on our Telegrams, Twitter, social media where people participate and we give them away. And after those first tier 1 whitelist spots, if they don't get filled, we will have a tier 2, which is a first come first serve. And in that case, it will be slightly oversubscribed, because it's always, you know, you have to find a balance between oversubscription and avoiding ending up with a not filled project, because then it creates uncertainty into those who bought in. So, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you know, it's going to be a little bit oversubscribed the second round, because we want to make sure that we hit the goal.
Fair enough, Bob. Let's open it up to community investor questions now. I want to see, Syed, you had a question for Bob at Arcadia. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, so I want to know that will players be able to modify their Pac-Man? I mean, its color, pattern, shape, according to their own liking?
Sorry, to modify what?
The Pac-Man, I mean.
Like to aesthetically, you mean? To modify it aesthetically?
Yes. Yes, yes, its
No,
color, pattern, shape, etc.
Like it won't be like fully editable. In the beginning, it will be like what you'll see in the game, it will be standard, but then we plan to make that the skins that you have will reflect into the game. So we plan to to implement that, but it won't be like fully customizable by each player. Yeah.
Okay, and will there be different maps and backgrounds, maybe depending on the level, different difficulty levels?
Yes, yes. Regarding that, we will have different maps, and we will keep developing them, maybe having some maps connected to some events. So imagine, I don't know, for Christmas or Easter events, things like that. So it's we plan to start like, you know, it's not a priority to get out there like 50 maps from the beginning, because it doesn't add so much, but we will have some variety. Yes.
Okay, got it. A final question. So I was also thinking that will you be offering any sponsorship or scholarship program where owners of these Pac-Man can let other play for them, and they can also share the rewards equally?
For the moment, it's not in our plans, because we thought like the arcade experience is something you know, personal that you want to enjoy yourself. And by the way we crafted the energy system, is not very demanding. Like possibly, if you have a super high rarity packs in your team, you will still have to play maximum 1 hour per day. You know, which is not that much for anybody. But we are discussing about scholarship systems, and maybe in the future, like I'm not excluding that. We just want to first test the idea. We don't want to build so many things all together, and then maybe even just the basic idea is not very interesting to the investors and players. So we want to take it gradually. You know, we want to do like few things, try to do them at the best of our capability, and then add on top of that. But we know that scholarship games, they have a lot of popularity, and that's the reason why the biggest games we've seen so far, among which Axis, Pegaxy, and so on, they gain their traction. So let's say that we don't ignore, you know, that option.
Got it, got it. You are totally right. It's totally understandable. Thank you so much. Over to you, Glenn.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Syed. Let's move on to Aisha, you had a question for Bob at Arcadia. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Okay, I want to know that on which game engine are you developing your Pac-Man version? As various version of original Pac-Man or developed on Game Maker Studio 2? Will you be using the same game engine?
So we are using Unity, but I don't want to, because it's not my expertise. I think, yeah, we saw it before. Yeah, Unity. You see here. So we use Unity as a game engine. And the game is proprietary. So obviously it won't be such a different. We could have make it like very different, but at the same time, we want to keep those vibes that people are familiar with. So it's always like finding a balance between being different but not the same, and also from a legal point of view, because as you can imagine, there are some risks in terms of intellectual property rights violations and so on, and that's why we got some legal consultancy regarding that. We had to redesign our packs, and even just small changes. Maybe you don't see, maybe to you, like to someone who didn't pay attention to that, the ghost looks like it's the same, but actually there are some differences in the eyes, in the shape of the bottom. So all these changes they make for a different game from a legal point of view, but from a visual point of view, we don't want to detach so much from that. But yeah, all the code is done proprietary, even if inspiration is drawn from things that already exist. Yeah, this is true for at least. In the future, we plan to also come up with our own games or with community, not developed, but the community idea games.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
Further questions, Aisha? Let's move to Venice. You had a question for Bob at Arcadia. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Glenn. Actually, I have a couple of the questions to ask from Bob. So my first question is, I was wondering, do you have any plan to change the pack game mechanics a little bit? Like, if every character in the game is a real player, like one represents Pac-Man and others are enemies. They all are real players, and enemies are trying to catch the real Pac-Man.
I think I didn't understand the question. I'm sorry. Like, if players can change like the game dynamics, they want. We will try to make them not change so much, because we understand every game dynamic change. Like for instance, if we totally change the leveling system, those who invested early on, they will say like, "What the fuck, guys? Now I bought in your system and now you're changing it completely." So we'll try to avoid such changes. But for example, if we see, I don't know, that the leveling up is too slow and people lose confidence, maybe we can boost it a little bit. So those kind of changes in the system. I'm not sure. Like, your question.
No, I was not asking for the leveling system. I was saying that if all characters in the pack game are real players, like enemies are real players trying to catch the Pac-Man. Do you have any?
I don't know. I see. Yeah, that's actually a very good feedback, which I'll write it down. So we were thinking of ways on how to make it P versus P, for example, or factions, or we'll already have leaderboards, so indirect competition. But to change the game mode, I understand. Yeah, we don't have any game mode, like extra game mode developed so far, but the idea is to expand in other game modes, because we think it's interesting, especially the P versus P. It's very interesting, and even if it's not going to happen to be on pack, it will be on some other games which are more prone, to those kind of dynamics.
Okay, that would be really great if you have that kind of feature in the game. So I have another question. As your project is inspired by arcade games, so I was wondering, do you have any plan to also open any gaming zones in some physical places where people can get themselves educated and also earn by playing the games in real life physical locations.
Venice, my friend, you're a visionary, because that's exactly what we plan, like, is our end goal. Part of, like, one of the last points in our vision is to open some physical places, starting from, we were thinking about Switzerland. So most of us are based in Europe, and Switzerland is very crypto friendly country. But that would be the idea, to have those arcade areas where you can just connect your wallet and play and have that. The nice part about arcade games in the past, it was also like the fact that you could go there with your friends. You could have like that kind of interaction. So bringing it to real life, it's part of our very long-term vision. But yeah, I'm very impressed that you thought about that.
Yeah, I think this would be really a great idea, and it will also help unemployed people and adults, students. It will be kind of a job for them to go into the gaming zone and earn some money for them.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. And as we all know that metaverse is a trending concept, and I was wondering that do you also have a plan for the metaverse where there are a lot of arcade games or your games in the metaverse? People can come together, have chat, and play games together as well.
Huh. This is also very far ahead in the future in terms of development. So all I can say is that it's not impossible, but I think it's still going to take some time before we see blockchain integrated into the metaverse. It's still going to take some years. So I think it will be just pure speculation, to go so far ahead in time, because even just having people playing normal VR games, for example, I'm a player, before being a finance guy, before was staying in crypto and so on. I'm a player as well, and I play VR. But I'm telling you, even now, even if it's affordable, I can still find maximum 100, 200 people online, on certain like big games. So I think, yeah, it would be too far away for the moment. But stick around, because maybe this is not our only venture in terms of gaming.
Okay, that's really awesome, and thank you so much for answering all my questions as well.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Okay, thank you for the questions, Dennis. Unfortunately, we're running out of time today. It's been great speaking to Bob from Arcadia. The Pack World game looks awesome. I'm looking forward to the future. It's definitely great for our investors to hear about this project today. Yeah, I'm super excited. And they're on our partners. One of our partners, Launchpad's Gempad. That's on the 1st of August. So yeah, maybe join the community and see if you can win a whitelist spot for that. As we always say for Whalecoin Talk community investors, AMAs are for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice. You can check out the website white paper. And if you've got any questions after the AMA, because I say we've still got some hands up, the official socials are in the main chat there. So yeah, so we can get you safely over there, and I'm sure some of the team will be there to answer any questions you have after the AMA. Thank you very much for coming today, Bob. Great speaking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Glenn. I think you wrap it up perfectly. We'll wait for you in our channels. Don't hesitate to ask questions, even to tag us. We are trying to be present, to answer all of our questions. Please dive deep into the white paper. I know that some people prefer, a video to some words and some math, but since it's your hard-earned money, like, it's important to understand what are you getting yourself into. And also it's important to understand, like, what's the best way, to enjoy from this project and this experience. So take a look into that. Remember that the pre-sale is going to be on 1st of August. Follow our channels for more communications, for anything is happening new. And yes, thank you so much again, Glenn. You've been a great host, and also to the whole community. It was a pleasure being here.
To host you today, Bob. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future of the Arcadia team and community. I'll finish the record and send a copy over for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into our main chat for any of our community investors that couldn't join the call today.
Perfect. Thank you again. Have a nice one.
Bob, take care.